There she blows, Captain. The whale I netted, the whale I hooked while I was setting my dip nets, if you've been following my last few videos, has just surfaced. It's playing out pretty much as I thought it would. Almost too perfect. It's Monday, a little after 4 a.m. Monday morning. There she goes. I erased all the lines so I can draw them in right now on this video, show you what I was doing. I saw this line of support become obvious about a week or so ago to me. I didn't really see it before. It came down and made its third little showing. This was the Elon Musk tweet that pumped it up off here. And I think this reaction had something to do with that. There was also options that expired here. But I'm not sure exactly what the deal was. I still think Elon's tweet caused a lot of people to get way too excited. And there's a lot of traders selling and maybe turn into liquidations and maybe some panic selling. I don't think it was going to go down to 50. I think it was going to stay close to this line at 54, 53. But I figured I'd just make this video. There's also another way you could draw it. If you go down to the, if you draw it on the wicks of these points, it could look something kind of like so. So I have this double line I've been watching now for a while, and I'll probably just use this for the rest of the year. It's really simple, and sometimes the simple is just the best. So, I mean, I get a lot of information from other YouTubers that, you know, they'll go into the charts and draw the triangles and all the Fibonacci's and all the other stuff that you might see if you watch other channels, which you should do. You should watch a bunch of different Bitcoin channels. So here's the support diagonal. And I have these two. Here's the resistance diagonal on top, and I have the two support lines I have drawn at bottom. And this is the entire bull run of 2021. It's going back to November, October, back in here. And this support line, I think, is going to be support for basically the whole year. And we'll see where that goes here for a real conservative top for Bitcoin in 21 here in a little bit. First, I want to talk about this. This support line, these support lines is no coincidence. Let's go real quick to the weekly. Let's hide these drawings. Here's 2017-28 bull run. This peak back here. And then here's 2019, summer 2019, little top. And then here, here is our current bull run right now. Look at that. So let's put those. This is just for reference. When you zoom out, what you're really looking at. So think about a lot of the people getting scared and panic selling and stuff. Look at that. Look. Put the drawings back in. Oh, I just removed it. Stupid. And as you can see it, that's about an 85-degree angle straight up in the air on a, I guess that's a 14-year chart there. But let's see what a 10-year. That would be about the equivalent of a 10-year chart right there, give or take. Still over an 80-degree angle probably. But let's go back in there. Let me put my line back in there. So I've just got into this over the last 3 months, and I'm real happy with this being really my first analysis I've done on my own. And I'm really happy with how well it's working out. I mean, it's basically picture perfect. And it's a lot more simple than what you might see on other channels. I'm not saying this is better or anyone's better or anyone's worse, but Oftentimes, you find in many different aspects of business and life, when it's just simple and clean, oftentimes it's just the best. And I have a hunch this double line of support I got here, I mean, it's really just one line, but you can kind of draw it in different places, But it's fairly similar. I have a hunch this is going to be going on, and there's some interesting things I want to point out here real quick. We got back up into the triangle. Either one of these triangles you want to look at, we got back up into it. And Monday the 29th, and now we are breaking out. So people are going to get real excited. I don't think the big pump is coming right now. I think for this upcoming week, I mean, it could, but I think, let's see, let's bring this down just a touch. I wouldn't be surprised if we just kind of have a boring week, because lots of people, when YouTubers get excited, it kind of seems like it doesn't really pan out. And then other times when they start getting critical and negative, it seems like it kind of goes up a little bit. But this is how these markets are. They're designed psychologically to fool you. So no one knows for sure what they're ever really going to do. But I wouldn't be surprised if this week, if we just kind of go up, diddy bop up here for the first week of April. Well, this is still March, I suppose. Last week of March, first week of April, this upcoming business week. I wouldn't be surprised if we end right about in here, 59, 60,000. I don't know if we're going to break the old all-time record yet or not. We could. I have a feeling when we do break this old record, I have a feeling it's not going to mess around. I just have a feeling it's just going to blast up through it. I think it's going to go through 60, 61, 62,000 like a knife through butter. So I wouldn't be surprised if it just kind of honors this support line, kind of diddy bopping through here for a week, maybe even two. And sometime in April, I think it's going to explode. Lots of times, what I've been watching so far is the big gains come in a short amount of time. Like back here, January 4th, 4 or 5 days was the major pump. It's like a $12,000 pump. And then let's see, this is messing around here and went from 38,000 to 48,000 in 2 days, give or take. And then February 11th, 44,000. 9 days, went up at 14,000. And then just kind of duty bopping, just kind of lulling people to sleep. And then this went from 50,000 March 8th, 62,000, let's call it, in 5 days. So I'm just expecting maybe some boring, lull you to sleep activity this week. And then maybe even the first 2 weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if we start launching up here 5 to 10 days from now if it doesn't start. And, it'll probably be 5 to 10 day pump where it just goes and everyone's just freaking out. And I want to point this out real quick. It's one thing I noticed. This diagonal support line. Let's go to the daily chart. Okay, there's the daily chart. Every one of these bars here and candlesticks is a day. So I want to point this out. Bull run started back here, and this is kind of where we started interacting with this support line for the first time. And it's kind of going up and comes down and touches it. Let's look at the date. Let's go back to the 4 hour. It's easier to see. First time it comes down, interacts fully. Let's call it January 27th to January 28th. I want mind you, look at how this. It's almost like waves crashing against the lake shore or ocean beach. It's almost perfect how this is happening. I don't know if this is going to continue, but this is definitely something you might want to keep an eye on. I just like the simple, clear cut stuff, and it doesn't get much more simple. This support line here, it's just working perfect. It's just right down to the tip of that triangle. It has to go up or down, and it's busting up. But I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of goes up and sideways. Kind of last week of December or so, it kind of started pulling away from the support line for the first time. And then January 27th, January 28th, it came down and fully interacted with it, pulling back up, topping, coming back down. Oh, wait, what date is that? February 27th and February 28th. January 27th, January 28th. February 27th, February 28th. Granted, it might be thrown off now because there's only 28 days in February. But let's go ahead and check it out. And of course, the next day is March 1st, so maybe that messed it up. Let's check it out. It kind of came back down and interacted with it here, but not really. Didn't really go into it like the last two times. Just kind of grazed it. Actually, you know what? That's almost the exact same graze. Look at it. It fully interacted from the 28th. It grazed it 3 days later. Let's see. I haven't looked at this. I'm just now realizing this. February 28th. Grazed it 4 days later. Pump back up. Pump back up. Pump back up. Almost identical. This was an Elon Musk tweet here. So that's an outlier. That's kind of an anomaly, in my opinion. But it would have basically done the same thing, just not so fast, I suppose. It would have been more spread out, probably. But anyways, let's go see. Is this going to hold this little pattern I noticed here? These little waves, and they even look like waves. Look at that: wave, crash, wave, crash, wave, crash. So, what do you think? What do you think March 27th, March 28th is going to look like? Well, March 27th is here. There was 3 days short, 2 or 3 days short in February. So let's go say March 24th and 25th. Oh, go figure. March 24th fully interacts. March 25th. This was that Elon Musk tweet. So that could be throwing in a little something that wouldn't have been there normally. So who knows for sure. But March 22nd comes down. March 23rd fully interacts with it. This Elon Musk tweet I don't think would have normally been there. I think it would have just stayed right here on the support line. And those options expiring. I'm not sure how all that worked together. But all the cogs and wheels in there. Maybe it dipped down here. It probably only went down to like 52, 51. But I went down to 50. But March 24th, March 25th. Coming back up. So it would, if there was 30 days in February, we would literally probably be looking at March 27th and March 28th. So with that being said, what's likely to happen in April? Lots of YouTubers, lots of analysts calling for a huge April, and I do agree with that. I don't know if it's going to be ultra bullish, as some of them are saying. But likely we could probably go. Let's just see what it's been doing. Start to pull away from the line. Let's see, 61, 50. That's about $12,000 off of it there. 41, 17,000 off of it, off the support line there. I'm looking from the top to the support line. 58, 17,000. Let's call this 12,000. So say it's regressing just a little, just to be conservative. Let's just say 10,000. What's from 28th to what's 2 weeks from now is basically where these peaks are happening. So let's go 2 weeks. We need to subtract a couple days. So let's go from, let's just say from March 29th, March 30th. 14 days would be April 12th or so was likely to be our next top. And this isn't an exact science, of course. But it does seem to be a pretty vague, fairly accurate model. So where were we? April 12th would be here. Say 10,000 support on April 12th would be Now you want to watch out for weekends. Stuff that happens on the weekends, you don't really want to put a lot of faith into. But Monday through Friday is the numbers you want to look at. The weekends, and so far I've been watching, have just kind of been, well, there was a pump, I guess, to the all-time high on the weekend. But don't trust weekend stats. Anyways, April 12th, regardless, I guess, of what day it's going to be, 10,000 up from 63,000 would be a $73,000 pumpage over the next 2 weeks. You know what? 74. I said 74 like a month ago. Sounds about right. But this is saying 73,000 April 12th. So let's go ahead and draw a line in there. Let's see, we're 72, 70. Let's call it 72.5. Right about in there. Right in there or so. I don't know if I could draw a line. There we go. These lines don't have to be perfect. It's kind of like painting, drawing, doing a work of art. The more you realize the stuff doesn't need to be perfect, the better you get. So it doesn't matter if that line is crooked or not. I'm just looking at it for the next couple of weeks. Let's see, it's definitely going down a little bit. So let's straighten it out a little, I suppose, but something like that. There, okay. So there's my next top, our next local top. I'm gonna call. It's not as exciting as I would like it to be, and I'm ultra bullish on this Bitcoin deal. I'm thinking we might be in a super cycle. But the thing about it, and what a lot of people old and new may not be realizing, is we don't want it to go up. A lot of people are complaining about the price should be higher. No, you don't really. Just kind of a boring Bitcoin story is the perfect story to tell. If we went on this support line all the way to the end of the year, I want to show you this. Vitz, leave me alone. Shut up. I know. You a kitty cat. Shut up. Okay, I'm doing stuff. You need to get off me. Well, you can stay on me. Stop mowing, dude. People don't. Actually, people probably do want to listen to you, man. So I don't think this chart's not going to let me go out that far, unfortunately. I think that's about as far down as I can condense. July 19th, it's showing the bottom support lines at 103,000. Top support lines at about 108,000. July 19th. Where's it breaking 100? First week of July, $100,000 Bitcoin. And this is the most conservative thing, because remember, this is if this keeps happening like this, it's going to be waves. I don't know how big some of the waves are going to get, but you might go up, we might break 100,000 in late April or May, but then it's going to come back down. It's going to come down here. It might go down to 75,000, and scare the death out of people. 25-30% correction. But this is the main point of this video, is if you're following along and you got a chart this support line, this diagonal support line. And as long as we're above that, don't worry about anything, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't be listening to people on YouTube. That's the wonderful thing about Bitcoin. It's independent and free, and it's something you should educate yourself about so you can make your own analysis like I'm doing here. And I think I don't know if analysis is going to get any better than this. I'm not good at going down to the hourly bars and the 15-minute and the 5-minute stuff and trying to predict and think what it's going to do and all that. And I'm more of a big picture person, and I don't think it's going to get a whole lot better than this, no matter how professional or how much experience anyone has. I could be wrong. If we do break this support line, I think there's something seriously wrong. I don't mean like a little break like this one here. That's that's not even really considered breaking it. Just went down for March 24th to March 26th. 2 days, and part of those 2 days it was on it. So I mean, what I mean is if it goes, if May 8th, if it's coming back down to 50,000, then there's something wrong. May, June, if June, if it's it's 62,000, there's something wrong with this model. That is. But keep in mind, it's waves, right? So April 14th, maybe it's a little high. What I say, 73, 74,000 here. It looks a little short looking at it from here, doesn't it? Maybe in high 70,000, 77,000. See, a lot of this is leverage traders. We'll put in huge orders, so there's resistance points probably at 70. There'll definitely be probably a resistance point at 80, so you probably get knocked back down. So maybe 80 is the next local top, but everyone starts selling at 78 and 79. So maybe it's 77 is the next top, and it comes back down. Into April, we could be looking at $70,000 Bitcoin. See how that's working? So if someone said to you, over a month from now, Bitcoin is going to be at 70,000, you think, oh, that's so boring, it's so conservative, and that can't be right. But look at that. That's what this support line's already telling us. If it stays true, maybe it goes up to 80, but what was it? 28th plus 2 days. April 30th or so. This isn't exact, just ballpark. It could be down to 69, 68,000 a month from now. See how that's working? But we may have went up to 77, 78. We may have tickled 80's toes, And then I think it's just going to keep repeating, in my opinion, so far. So let's extrapolate just a little further. Okay, so it would be leaving about here. So 28th. Where would May 28th plus 2 days be? 30th. Let's just say the end of May 30th, May 31st. It's likely to bottom out again. It's likely to bottom out again at about 82,000 to 83,000, 84,000. So where would we have likely pumped to then? Let's see, April 28th bottom or 30th bottom, work our way up for the 14 days, give or take. So let's see, maybe 90,000, 89,000, middle of May, come back down in our wave, May 30th. Boom, bounce back off the support line somewhere around here. Looking like 84,000, 83,000, 82. Maybe we dippy-do down below it again a little bit and then pop back up and then start all over. Middle of June. Maybe is where we crack 100,000 for the first time. If we didn't do it in May. I'm being ultra conservative now, as you noticed, because I've kind of changed my view just a touch. It seems to me like some machines or some people or something, or just everything combined in a natural way, whatever it is, it seems to me is producing just a much more healthy Bitcoin. The asset of Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a lot different than it has been in the past, past 12-year history, 11-year history, whatever. I think it's a lot less volatile, and I think it's going to get a lot more boring, which is really good. If you notice here, these waves, even in the last 4 months, are smaller. See, this one was 42 to, that was about a $21,000 top from the support line. Next wave, 58 to 41. It's about $17,000 from the top to the support line. Next one, let's just round it off, 62,000 to $12,000 from top to support line. So if that holds true, next one's gonna be like 10,000 from support. Which would give us 75, 76, 77, 74 to 77, 75. I just can't get away from 74. That's kind of what I said a while back. I thought it would happen earlier, but I'm thinking middle of April, 74. Middle of May. Touch under 90,000. Most people are calling for 100,000 by April and May. And people don't get a lot more bullish than me about Bitcoin. But I've changed my mind. Bitcoin looks a lot more healthy, a lot more sophisticated, a lot more grown up. And if we just want to creep along the support line for the next 12 months, 18 months, if this really is a bull cycle, middle of July, we're at 100,000. Third end of the, yeah. What was it? I wish I could pull this chart out further. It's going up 12,000 a month. Let's call it 12,500 a month on average. It goes up times. A lot of people are saying this bull run is going to end in the end of September. So that's 6 months. That would be $75,000 plus 58,000. That'd give us $133,000 Bitcoin at the end of September. Now that is a long ways under what I've been saying. But if it's a bull cycle, or I mean, if it's a super cycle, that would mean this cycle is going to go on for a lot longer, and we may not be having any true 4-year halving cycles. I mean, that the halving will always juice up the cycle, but as opposed to looking at the past of Bitcoin, this you can't see the first one, but where it just goes straight up in the air and straight back down and into a bear winter for 2 or 3 years. I don't know if that's going to happen again. If this spiked up to 800,000 on Evid, of course we'd come back down. But it might not be doing that like I thought it might. I was thinking quarter threes, I've heard a few things just watching people in the know being interviewed. And I think it's pointing to quarter three as being a wow, look at that. Look at that. While I've been making this video, look at that. Wow. Almost 58,000. Maybe this is going to be straight up to the moon pumpage on Monday. Let's see. We're 3.5, 4 hours away from the stock market's opening. Monday the 29th here. Look at that. I'm impressed with myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back. Good job, dude. That's exactly what I was saying. In my last video, I said I'm looking to get back up in this triangle, and then March 29th into April. I'm going to dampen down my expectations. My expectations are still huge, but let's extrapolate that out to 12,500 average a month gainer. Let's just go to the end of this year. Times 9 months equals this plus where we're at now, 57,600. $170,000 Bitcoin by the end of December 2021. That's ultra conservative. I can almost guarantee we'll be at that or above. Now keep in mind all these waves. It's looking like a monthly wave to me. Maybe that pattern will change or slowly diminish. If it just, I just want to make this video just to show I've kind of altered my opinion and my, I'd like to be moonboy, and I'd like to say, oh yeah, go up to $700,000, which it still might do, but if it goes up super high, it's going to come back crashing down hard. I guess the point I'm getting to is if it keeps going like this, long term, this is just much more healthy. I just got a gut feeling that this trend is going to continue, and you're going to hear wild predictions by YouTubers. So a lot of those day traders, excuse me, on YouTube, they make some really irresponsible titles, particularly if new people come along and don't understand what's going on. They don't realize that just their titles alone can influence people to do stupid things, as far as leverage trading. So some of those day traders on YouTube are extremely irresponsible. I almost think that they should be banned from YouTube because undoubtedly they're costing some people a lot of money. And they can say, "Well, you didn't listen to our video. I said this and that." Well, this doesn't matter. Yelling and screaming at the camera, making videos, telling people about all-time historical highs, it's going to do this and that. They may not understand when they do, the 20 seconds of saying, "Well, I could drop down here and we could go back down." That just might not even, that just might go in one ear, not the other, because they're already so pumped up by all the irresponsible clickbait crap. But I think Bitcoin might be getting real boring. I think it might be lulling people to sleep. Q3, July, August, September might create a top way, 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 way above the support line. But anyways, I guess I've already said it a few times. I just have a hunch we're going to go up and down and up and down, 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 up and down. And I wouldn't be surprised if basically every month we have a new all-time high. And the support lines are real easy to draw in. So I will be taking this diagonal resistance line. I'll be taking this off of here. And then, maybe a couple weeks from now, I might be drawing a new resistance line in here somewhere, Anyway, something to look at, and let's see if I can sit here and watch it. Let's see if we can watch it break 58,000 together. 58,000 is the previous all-time high before 62,000. Let's see if we can do it. There was it 58,339 2 peaks ago. We're about to bust through that. Let's see if we can do it before I end the video. That could take a while. So, there it goes. 57,999. 58. There it goes. There it goes. Oh, there it goes. No psychological resistance there. Look at that. Just blasted through it. I think when we do go past the previous all-time high, 62,000, I don't think, this is opinion, but I don't think 60 to 62,000, I don't think that's going to be resistance when we get there. Unless, of course, we get there now. We might get rejected. But, wow, look at that, 58,200. What's that look like on the 5-minute chart? Cowabunga, look at that. This happened when everyone's sleeping. There's going to be a lot of happy people waking up pretty soon. All right, well, that's enough yapping. I sure hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks for watching.